I suppose one thing I haven't spoken about, which is quite big in my life, is we've just been on the telly. We were on the this Great Ormond Street series, the second one, Fight to Breathe, because my middle daughter had a lung transplant in October, and about a year before she actually had her transplant, she was asked by the BBC if they could film it, and they followed a couple of families, came to our house and stuff, and because it's part of Great Ormond Street, the sort of series, and the hospital are really well involved in it. They would kind of tell them when we were coming for clinic and stuff, so they'd be there for clinic, and they'd have a chat with us, and then have a chat with a consultant. They knew when we got the call. They were on the list of people to call when we had a call for a new set of lungs. So they were there when we arrived, and in fact they got to see more than we did. They actually were in the operation, watching the whole thing. So they had a slightly more privileged position than we did. So saw loads of stuff. It's quite nice for Jess. That's my daughter's name. It's quite nice for her to see the whole thing, see what happened, so she could see it all. You know, so, and we've got the DVD of it. So yeah, and she's doing absolutely amazing. So it's kind of I occasionally forget that she's had a lung transplant because she's so normal, you know. And the only thing that reminds me that she's had a lung transplant is before, when she was on oxygen and she was in, like, you know, wheelchair bound. She was kind of stuck with me because she couldn't really have any friends. She was stuck with me, so we kind of became best buddies, best mates. And now she's got new lungs to do what she wants. I'm just a dad again, you know. So she's got loads of friends now, and I'm just a dad, and I keep reminding her, look, stop being a dick. Yeah, so, but yeah, it's utterly amazing what the transformation's been like with her. Yeah, it's off the world. And I think what was quite nice was, well, we went to Harry Potter World the day after, or a few days after, and she got recognised a few times. People would come up to her and say, oh, you know, were you on Great Ormond Street and stuff, and they'd be, you know, and you could see that other people recognised her as well, but obviously didn't want to come and say anything, you know. But it's quite nice. And he does a lot for organ donation as well, so, you know, before I got this bike, she signed me up to be an organ donor, you know, just in case. Yeah, so that was a kind of a big thing that happened recently. Obviously, the program going out. It's kind of weird. The question we get asked the most, and I'm sure this is the same for any parents who've got, you know, ill children. The question you get asked the most is, how do you cope? And, you know, it's a very simple answer, because you've normally got a little person in the room who's coping with it better than you would anyway. So you can't cope any less than they can, and they generally cope with it, you know, like it's just the next thing to do, you know. And I suppose until you've had a child that's dealing with this kind of stuff, you won't know how you're supposed to cope, because the child kind of leads you to it. You know, the child kind of says, right, in this situation, this is how you need to cope. You know, you kind of take your cue directly from them. You know, there's no book, or there's no guide. You just deal with it as they're dealing with it. You know, so the kind of how do you deal with it? It's easy. That's the easy bit. You know, it's kind of the stuff that you have to deal with when you're not with them. When they're not there to show you how to do it. That's the difficult bit. You know, when they're off doing something and you're trying to deal with something without them being there. Then you get your stupid adult head comes on, and you can stop thinking like they do, because they just deal with something. You know, got to do this, or this will happen. Okay, let's do it. So they just get on with it. You know, so silly things like when, you know, she's got. So when she came around from the operation, she had 5 chest drains in. So when you've seen that as a parent, when you've seen your child with 5 chest drains in, and and you're trying to get to mobilise, and she's got 5 rubber tubes sticking in her chest, and then I'll be off to give blood in I think a week or two. I've got a blood test, which is no issue. But my wife, who saw my daughter with plastic tubes sticking out of her chest, would freak out if anyone came in with the smallest needle in the world. Just think, dealing with this kind of stuff is easy if you just use this, the sort of the mentality that kids use for it. It's simple. Yes, if you haven't seen it, it's on the iPlayer, BBC Two on the iPlayer, Fight to Breathe. My daughter's name is Jess. She's the one that looks like Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. So she has the awkward position now, as when people recognise her, we don't know if they've recognised her for being on Fight to Breathe, or whether they've mistaken her for Arya Stark on Game of Thrones. Check it out.